It started 6 months ago. Not with pain. Not with fear. With forgetting. Small things at first. The name of a street I'd driven down for years. The password to my email. The word for window. Just gone. Everyone forgets sometimes. You lose a word. You misplace a thought. You laugh it off. But this felt different. It wasn't random. It was systematic. Every few days, another piece of me disappeared. Not just memories. Skills. I forgot how to play the piano. A song I'd played since childhood. My hands knew it, but my mind didn't. At first, I thought it was stress. Work, deadlines, lack of sleep. Then, maybe age. I'm only 49, but my father had early-onset dementia. Maybe it was genetic. So I went to a neurologist, MRIs, blood work, cognitive tests. Everything came back normal. Probably anxiety, she said. Try meditation. But anxiety doesn't make you forget your own name. One morning, I woke up and didn't recognize my house. I stood in my kitchen and thought I'd been robbed, because nothing looked familiar. Then I realized it wasn't the house that had changed. It was me. 3 weeks later, things got worse. I started seeing flashes, images in my head that weren't mine, memories that didn't belong to me. A child's laughter in a park I'd never visited. A woman's voice, whispering in a language I don't speak. I told my doctor again. He said it sounded like hallucinations, prescribed antipsychotics. But I wasn't hallucinating. I was remembering someone else's life. That's when I found the scar behind my left ear. A thin, precise incision, less than an inch long. Surgical. Perfectly healed. I'd never had surgery in my life. I went through my medical records, every clinic, every test. Nothing. No entry about a procedure. No explanation. Then I found the date. A gap in my phone logs. 3 full days missing from my GPS, my texts, my calls. No data. No movement. Just nothing. Someone had erased me. I hired a private investigator. He traced the missing days. One transaction stood out. A charge from a private neurology clinic 3 states away. A place I had never heard of, but the receipt had my signature. I went there. The clinic didn't exist anymore. Shut down, records destroyed. But the building was still there. Empty, cold, reeking of antiseptic on the wall, faint outlines where equipment used to hang. On the floor, a single piece of paper half burned. The header read, Project Mnemosyne, Phase 2, Cognitive Overwrite Trials. My name was on the bottom. They'd been experimenting, not to erase memories, but to replace them. The theory was simple. Memory as data, stored and transferred like files. Extract one set of memories, implant another. Use the human brain as a storage drive. I wasn't sick. I was a test subject. Every memory I lost had been overwritten. Every new image, the laughter, the park, the woman, were from someone else's life. Someone who probably didn't exist anymore. I tried telling the authorities. No one believed me. No record of the clinic. No record of my missing days. Even the investigator vanished a week later. Then I started receiving emails from untraceable accounts. Each message contained one line. You were never supposed to remember. And then, audio files. Recordings of my own voice, speaking words I had no memory of saying. I consent to the upload. I understand the risks. I release my biological memory. The last file was dated the same day as the clinic visit. They had my voice, my signature, my consent. Except I never gave it. I went to my brother for help. He looked at me blankly and said, "You don't have a brother." My birth certificate was gone from the system. My school records, erased. Even my photos online began to vanish. Reverse image search? Nothing. As if I never existed. Whoever ran Project Mnemosyne wasn't just altering memories. They were rewriting identity. And I wasn't the only one. I found others. People online describing the same symptoms, the same scars, the same missing days. We formed a group, 16 of us, all from different cities, different backgrounds. Every one of us had visited a clinic under a different name. Every one of us had that same scar. Then, one by one, they began to disappear. Their accounts deleted, phones disconnected, emails bouncing back. Now it's just me. I'm recording this as proof, because I don't know how much longer I'll remember who I am. Every day, I lose something new. Yesterday, I forgot my mother's face. Today, I forgot my favorite song. Tomorrow, maybe my own name. If you're watching this, and you've ever found a scar you can't explain, or lost days that no one else remembers, or heard memories that aren't yours, you might be one of us. They said we'd forget everything. They were almost right. But not this. Not the truth. Because even if they take my memories, they can't erase this warning. Not. It's been 19 days since my last recording. I didn't mean to stop. I just forgot that I was recording in the first place. When I checked my camera this morning, there were files I didn't remember making, 9 of them, each exactly 11 minutes long, each beginning with me sitting in the same chair, saying the same words. Initiating memory sync. Subject 47 online. I watched the first one. My voice? Calm. Robotic. Eyes unfocused. I spoke about integration stability and cross-memory harmonization, words I'd never used before. Then, at minute 9:27, my head tilted slightly to the left, and I whispered, "The others are waking up. Except, they're gone." The other 16, their profiles deleted, their messages wiped. So who was I talking about? The deeper I looked, the stranger it got. Inside my computer's hidden folders, I found encrypted files, labeled M-phase. When I decrypted one, it opened a diagram of a brain, not mine, but mapped to my EEG signature. Underneath it, a line of code, greater than synchronization complete. Upload pending remote activation. Then my router lights blinked, all at once, and my screen went black. When it came back, there was a single message displayed. You were never meant to resist. After that,